So the WBC are going to allow Deontay Wilder a voluntary defence. You know, it was stated that his next fight would have to be Alexander Povetkin, but they have reneged on that statement. And Deontay Wilder now has the opportunity to take a fight in between the Alexander Povetkin fight. Now, my initial thought, like most boxing fans, was, outrage. This reign of Deontay Wilder continues without him having to fight a proper contender, and the WBC is simply being too lax on him. But then when I actually thought about it, and in the interest of being fair and balanced, I think that this is just as much Povetkin's fault as Deontay Wilder's. I mean, strategically, it was very questionable of Povetkin whether he should have taken that fight with Mariusz Wach. I mean, what did that fight actually gain him? It wasn't a competitive fight, it wasn't a ranking fight, it wasn't a big money fight. And what it kind of did was, give the WBC an excuse to allow Deontay Wilder to take this. Because, look, Povetkin had a hard fight that night. It was 12 rounds, it was pretty gritty action. Even though Povetkin won clearly, he had to take some stuff back in that fight. And really, it meant that Povetkin wasn't able to fight in January. I presume he needs more time to recover, which has allowed Deontay Wilder to get a voluntary in. Now, I'm not saying that's right at the WBC to permit it, but realistically, Team Povetkin should maybe have considered that Team Wilder would pull a stunt like this, and perhaps it would have been better to have their man fully primed and fully ready to go without having another fight on the radar. So hypothetically, this means that Deontay Wilder will have a voluntary against a top 15 WBC opponent. Now, to be honest, the WBC have been so flexible and so lax that who knows what they'll let him get away with. I mean, he's fought Eric Molina and Johan Dupar, neither of whom would be in my top 30, 40 heavyweights, let alone top 15. Some of the names being bandied about, all of whom I believe are top 15 contenders. Chris Arreola. For me, there's very, very limited enthusiasm in seeing this fight. Chris Arreola's looked very, very poor recently. Looks like a real faded force. And you'd have to assume Deontay Wilder would get him out of there early. Glazkov, who, some people are saying would be good prep for Alexander Povetkin, because they're a similar height and both of them have, an Eastern European style. I personally stylistically see them as very different type of fighters though. Povetkin I see as an inside fighter, more of a powerful guy, whereas Glazkov I see as a jabber. And Arthur Spilker is the third name being talked about. Now I predict that Arthur Spilker is the most likely of the three. I think that Arthur Spilker is working with Al Heyman. He's had 2 or 3 paper opponents recently, and I think he's been built in the direction of being a Deontay Wilder opponent. For me, Spilker's a good fighter. He's solid enough. He's probably would be better than anyone else Deontay Wilder's fought since becoming world champion. But he's beatable. I mean, we saw what Bryant Jennings did to him, and whilst I'm sure he's come on for that experience and improved, that fight was relatively early on in Bryant Jennings' career, and Jennings stopped him. So you'd have to fancy Deontay Wilder to do the same. So it doesn't surprise me if Arthur Spilker's next up for Deontay Wilder. Let me know your thoughts. How do you think this news should be treated, that he's going to get a voluntary, and who do you think it's going to be against? Thanks for watching.